Uh, hey, darling.
Yeah.
How's Fire Emblem?
I just need Dimitri to take a nap, and then everything will be fine.
Okay. And how's the project coming for the next YouTube video?
Uh, yeah.
Good. I only ask because, well, you've been playing Fire Emblem for 4 days now.
No. It's been like 4 hours. It's fine. Dimitri just needs to take a nap. Then I'll be done.
Okay.
So, I have obviously been deep in the Fire Emblem hole, but now I am out and ready to start the project that I meant to have finished a week ago. It's fine, I just have a lot of feelings about anime boys, specifically ones that only have one eye. It's fine. Maybe there's a Byleth cosplay in my future? We'll see. So anyway, this is the start of a series. This is a series that I'm calling The Search for the Perfect Bra, and I'm doing it because I hate modern bras. They make my shoulders hurt, they make my back itch, and they're hard to put on. So I'm going to do the only logical thing and make some historical bras with lacing up the back and see if that solves my problem. So today we're going to start out with some Regency short stays. I got the project on Etsy from Red Threaded. I have some leftover boning from another set of stays that I haven't finished because I didn't order the right amount of boning in the right sizes. It's fine. I live my life through trial and error. And this old skirt that I made and have never worn, it's not even finished. There's no button or anything. And it's not hemmed. And I never wear it, so I might as well just use it for something else. And the remnants of my mock-up from my American Duchess cape. So, let's get started. I started out by laying out my pattern pieces on my fabric. I didn't iron it because I don't own an iron. I'm back in New York, and so I had to leave the iron that I was using with my mom in Maine because it's hers. I laid everything out in one layer instead of doubling up like usual, partly to make sure everything stays on grain, which isn't something I usually pay too much attention to, just out of pure laziness, but also because I'm cutting this mock-up out of other mock-ups, so I really needed to just kind of make sure that there was enough of everything to cut my pieces out, which meant there was a lot of futzing around with layout, which wouldn't have been possible if I had cut 2 of everything right off the bat. So I laid out my pattern pieces for the right side, cut those out, and then turned the pattern pieces wrong side up and cut out the left side pieces. transfer all of the pattern marks from the paper pattern onto my fabric pieces. So for the marks where the grommets go, I just poked a little hole in the paper pattern piece and then used a marker to just mark on my fabric where those went. And for the boning channels, I took the closest thing that I could find to a tracing wheel and marked off the boning channels, which I then went over again with a marker just on my lining pieces so that it wasn't going to show through to the actual fabric. Not that it matters, because this is a mock-up. Stitching the lining and outer fabric together, I went back down and stitched all of my boning channels in. Okay, I futzed with it a little off camera, and this is a pin, and this is a little bit better. I'm sure you can see my sweater's kind of in the way and the boning is poking out, but this is certainly better. It's a little bit more in line with what I expected. But I still feel like it needs to be up higher. Pardon me. Okay, so I tried to smooth out my sweater a little bit. This is certainly closer to what I was picturing. The sleeves are still wonky. I think I could probably tighten both of them. And I still feel like it needs to be up higher. Like that is kind of more what I had in mind. I'm gonna look at I would like to add, cameras are fun. I would like to add more boning, probably here, just to keep the ladies in line a little better. This is good. The back feels fine, but like, I feel like I have to, like, relaxed, it's just, when I relax my shoulders, it's just not working out. So something has to change. I'm gonna do some research and see what I can come up with and make a second mock-up. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson from the jacket. I'm making a mock-up now. I'm making 2 mock-ups. All right, y'all. I've been awake for like 2 hours and I was gonna make something different today, but I think I am in fact going to work on my stays because I have watched 2 videos and skimmed some articles on Foundations Revealed, and I think I have a plan for how to fix the fit for my second mock-up. So I am going to finish my second cup of coffee, do my workout, take a shower, go grocery shopping, and I will see you after all of that. All right, friends, I gotta be honest with you. It's been 2 days. I have done a workout, taken a shower, walked the dog, and bought the groceries, and I have 0 energy. I do not want to work on these stays. I don't want to work on anything. I want to lie on the couch and stare at the ceiling, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work on my stays. We're going to get mock-up 2 done. We're going to get mock-up 2 done today, and we are going to maybe get everything cut out of like the real actual fabric. Let's go. Also, just really quick, I ordered some pins from Pindy Gamer on Etsy and they finally came in. So I have Claude and I have Yuri on my beautiful cape, and then my husband, I let him have Dimitri, even though he's also my favorite, but Dimitri on his cape, and then he has Edelgard on his backpack. And this guy from Hazbin Hotel which I didn't watch. But aren't they cute? I'm in love with them. What do you think? To mock-up number 2, I did basically the same thing to cut everything out as I did with my first mock-up, but this time I used an old bed sheet, so I was actually able to double up because I had more fabric.
little bit uncomfortable, and I couldn't figure out why until the initial testing done and once again was sitting completely shut.
I find it a little embarrassing to say that the most complicated part of this pattern was figuring out the bust gussets. The first mock-up had them looking very messy, but after watching some videos and doing some research, I discovered the correct way to do them, which is folding down both sides and then top stitching. This turned out much neater and was much easier than all of the other ways I tried. I also flatlined this second mock-up, which was the correct decision. So you fold down the sides and then you top stitch them so that the outside looks like this and the inside looks like this. It looks much neater now that I know that this is how you're supposed to do it. I also will say I cut the gussets lower than the actual pattern suggested, but that's because, as discussed, the whole reason for this series is that I'm a little on the busty side of things. Okay, mock-up number 2 is actually way better. This bone is a little weird. I'm going to put probably a drawstring up here so that I can kind of tighten that. I also think I'm going to move the straps over here so that they're not quite so far away. But this is, I don't know if you guys could see that. I'm going to move the straps from here to probably here. But, well, it broke my yarn. That's fine. This is so much better than the first one. I'm so glad I made a second mock-up, guys. Yeah. All right. I'm going to move on to the real fabric. That's bold, but I think I've got it mostly down. And the only thing I need to do is add like a drawstring for the top so that I can do that. But I think this is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Yeah? Yeah, I just need a way to make up here smaller, which I think is accomplished with a drawstring, which I also think might actually be in the instructions. Here's what I learned from this project. Read the instructions before you start.
Hello, man. Who's a stink-mink boy? Stinky-winky boy. Is it you? I think it's you.
For my final finished product, I didn't want to buy fabric or use anything from my stash, so I ended up using a pair of wrap pants that I got from my mom that never really fit me in the waist, but they do have beautiful black on black embroidery down at the hems, so that is what I cut my pattern pieces out of. And it was nice to find a use for clothing that I don't wear and turn it into something that I will wear. And for the lining, I used a combination of muslin and an old bed sheet. Because I apparently hate myself, I stitched all of the edging around the top on by hand. Alright guys, they are done. I'm getting ready to go to jury duty. Don't worry about that. It's a little note for my husband. It's like 6 in the morning. I'm getting ready to head down for jury duty, and here are my completed Regency short stays. I really like them. So far, they're pretty comfortable. The straps don't feel uncomfortable or anything. I have full range of motion, and I also have pretty good support, and once I put my real clothes on, I don't think that I'm gonna look like I'm wearing a sports bra, which is the real dream. So I'm gonna get dressed, and I will check back in with you guys tonight to report on whether or not short stays were comfortable for a full day of sitting in a room doing absolutely nothing. Peace. All right, it is late. My PJs are on, but I spent all day in my short stays. I was super comfortable. I never felt like I wanted to take them off. They were great. They didn't feel, it felt like I wasn't wearing anything, which is exactly what underwear is supposed to be. I mean, they were just there, and I didn't really think about them outside of the fact that I knew I was wearing a different type of bra than I normally do. I'm going to wear them all day tomorrow as well, just so I have a nice control. That's not really the right word. I'm not a scientist, but just so I have like 2 days to think about. And so far, this experiment is off to a much better start than I thought it would be. All right, we have finished day 2 in my short stays. I laced them differently today, which made them a little bit less comfortable, but not in any real way. And I know that I have to reinforce the boning channels because some of my boning is already poking through, but that's a me construction problem, not a problem with them as like a replacement for a modern bra. So overall, I'm really happy with them. I like that they don't come down very far, so I still, they don't change my posture the way that a corset does, and they are comfortable enough for me to just kind of like lie on the couch or whatever, which is great. So far, this experiment and this search is going really well. So next up, I'm gonna try another pattern by Red Threaded for the Victorian corset. That may or may not be the next video, but it's on the docket. So I will see you next time. Bye, friends.